Welcome to the Explainer. This one's brought to you by Forge College. So if you've been following along in our intermediate Solidity projects track, you know we're deep into integrating multiple contract patterns. Now, in the last lesson, we set up our automated security tools and checks for Solana, basically installing our security cameras and tripwires, right? But today, today we're dealing with those sneaky little mysteries that slip right past all those automated alarms. We are diving into debugging interdependency issues. This is where your human-driven detective work really takes center stage.
Here's the agenda for today's case file. We'll start with Section 1, the interdependency trap. Then Section 2, the broken proxy upgrade. After that, Section 3, 5 steps to fix bugs. Section 4, fixing the storage shift. And finally, Section 5, writing the debug report.
All right, Section 1, the interdependency trap, why good contracts break. You know, as Web3 engineers, we're building these incredibly complex architectures now. Factories, proxies, oracles, the whole shebang. But that brings up a really frustrating question. Why do good contracts actually break? I mean, think about it. You've written flawless code, you've tested every single piece in isolation, your unit tests are completely green. So why in the world does a multi-million-dollar system suddenly just blow up the exact second you plug all those pieces together? Well, it usually comes down to what we call an interdependency failure. These are bugs arising from mismatches, like unexpected delegate call contexts or storage shifts that only appear when multiple contract components interact. The absolutely crucial thing to grasp here is that these are not syntax errors. No, these are logic collisions. It's when different components make entirely incorrect assumptions about each other. It's literally like buying a gorgeous top-of-the-line Italian steering wheel, bolting it onto your car, and then realizing that turning left somehow turns on your windshield wipers. The individual parts? Totally fine. But the interaction? Completely broken. Let's move to Section 2, the broken proxy upgrade. A tiny change fails.
Okay, let's look at a specific crime scene. We've got an upgraded smart contract proxy here, where a tiny, super innocent-looking code change caused an absolute catastrophe. Just look at how a tiny addition wreaks havoc. On the left side, version 1, the storage layout is super simple. Slot 0 holds the owner address, and slot 1 holds a paused boolean, just a basic true or false flag. But check out version 2 on the right. A dev decided, hey, we need to track a nonce, so they added it right below owner. See how adding that nonce in version 2 pushed our paused boolean right out of its original spot? It got bumped all the way down into slot 2.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates the resulting chaos. The proxy is blindfolded. It reaches for slot 1, expecting paused, but hits nonce instead. Think of a proxy contract like someone stumbling around a pitch-black room. They were told, hey, the light switch, our paused boolean, is exactly one step inside the door. But if you go and move the furniture between version 1 and version 2, they are absolutely gonna stub their toe. The proxy reaches into slot 1, expecting a simple true or false, but it grabs a massive nonce number instead. Suddenly, boom, authorization checks fail, or even worse, the whole thing just silently breaks.
So how do we clean up this mess? Section 3, 5 steps to fix bugs. Structured debugging. We can't just guess and check our way out of this. We need a rigorous, repeatable framework. Here are the 5 steps. Step 1, reproduce the bug. Step 2, isolate the issue. Step 3, hypothesize. Step 4, fix. And step 5, verify. This structured, methodical mindset is exactly what we focus on in Forge College programs. You capture the bug deterministically, narrow down the moving parts, guess the root cause, patch it up, and then mathematically prove your fix actually works.
To jumpstart that third step, hypothesize, we use a symptom matrix like this one. It's a real game changer. It maps the exact symptom directly to the likely root cause and tells you what to check immediately. For example, if your contract inexplicably reverts with a paused error, that's likely a storage layout shift. Your immediate checks should be reading those storage slots. Getting unexpected data? Probably an ABI mismatch, so go confirm your ABI usage. And if you get a silent failure where literally nothing happens, well, that's often a failed delegate call. Inspect that transaction receipt immediately because it probably failed quietly in the background.
All right, Section 4, fixing the storage shift, applying minimal fix.
Now that we know that pesky nonce variable crashed the party by stealing slot 1, how do we carefully intervene? We apply the minimal fix, preserve the layout by placing the new nonce variable after the paused boolean. It is honestly the simplest, most effective fix. You just respect the original architecture and append any new items to the very end of the line. Scratch the idea of a massive rewrite. We don't need to rebuild our entire storage structure. We just need to tack it on at the end. As you'll see, harmony is officially restored. Take a look at the broken version 2 on the left, where slot 1 is the nonce and slot 2 is paused. Now look at our patched version 2 on the right. Slot 1 is paused and slot 2 is the nonce. The proxy finds paused exactly where it left it. That sensitive action runs flawlessly, and our new nonce variable is safely tucked away in slot 2, completely out of the proxy's blindfolded path. The context is perfectly preserved.
We're almost done, but not quite. Section 5, writing the debug report. Document findings.
Because, just fixing the bug locally on your own laptop, that isn't enough. We have to document this case file so the rest of the team can review it and run the fix themselves. A proper debug report absolutely must contain these 4 bullets: a minimal reproducer script, a root cause analysis, a code diff for the fix, and clear verification steps. This report serves as a bridge for the long-term maintainability of the contract. It's literally the ultimate proof of your detective work.
Which brings us to the golden rule of this whole explainer. Make reproducible tests your first-class deliverables. Seriously, I can't emphasize this enough. A short, automated, failing test that anyone on your team can run is infinitely more valuable than writing up some long, rambling narrative explanation over Slack. The code proves the problem actually exists, and your patch proves it can be solved for sure.
Which leaves us with one final thought. In a Web3 world where a single misplaced variable can literally cost millions, how will you systematically harden your next integrated system? As we wrap up this module on contract patterns, really think about how you'll prevent your own proxies from stumbling in the dark. And hey, make sure to visit forge.college to master more intermediate Solidity projects and keep leveling up your Web3 engineering skills. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.